Welcome to Spartans at the Spice on a cold Monday afternoon in February. We have Mason Bendinger with us today. Well, first of all, welcome to the Coach's Corner.
Yes, thank you.
Mason is a 6'4" junior guard, 6'4", 210 from Salt Lake City, Utah. We were just talking about with Coach Richter just a minute ago about how cold outside it was, though. But how cold does it get in Salt Lake City?
It gets pretty cold. It'll get down to, we've had single digits. It'll get into the 12s, the 15s. We just get a lot of snow, though. That's the biggest thing. Is just like the roads get packed with snow, and like we have to have snow plows constantly. And that's the biggest thing. Is we just have a ton of snow. Obviously, Utah's a huge state for like skiing.
Yes,
love to come there and all that stuff, and that's the biggest thing, the biggest challenge.
Now, were you a snow skier?
I was.
I loved snow skiing. I used to love to night ski.
Yes.
When it's so peaceful out there with the lights on it and all.
Yes.
That was my favorite time. Never was really liked it as much when the sun's out and glaring off the snow, though. But night skiing, that was like being in a happy place.
Yeah,
doing that
night
there,
skiing
though.
is awesome.
Yes. All right, you're averaging 15 points a game so far this season. You got 453 points. You are getting 3.6 rebounds a game. You've got 103 rebounds. Field goal or free throws, we got to work on the free throws.
100%.
100%. You're shooting 53.2%, 66 out of 124. That was one thing that when I played, I shot 89% for my career.
Yeah.
And that's something. If I walked in a gym today, the first thing I'd do was take the ball, go to the free throw line.
Go to the free throw line, for
and,
sure.
And it got to the point that I was talking with one of the girls' players. I was talking with Patterson, the freshman point guard.
Yeah.
And she's shooting like 39%. And I said, I'll challenge you to a free throw contest. I said, we'll shoot 10. And I said, I'll even shoot mine with my eyes closed, and I still make more than you will. Because I've shot so many of them in my life that it's the same thing. I get lined up correctly. I get my elbow in a straight line with the basket. I bend my knees. Your shooting touch comes from your legs and push it up, and it's got to go in.
Yeah.
And one day in practice I made my career high is I made 163 free throws in one row one time.
Wow, very impressive.
So that was one thing that I loved. I wanted the ball at the end of the game. I begged for the ball. I'd steal it from my teammates because I wanted to be the one to get fouled because I love to score points and go to the line, though. But we're going to work on these free throw shots right there. I had a long talk with Carmani after he missed the two at Longwood.
Oh.
He said that he was sick. That's all he could think about coming back from the game for 4 hours. He said he got back. The first thing he did was he went to the free throw line and shot him when y'all got back from Longwood that night. Yeah. And he said, what'd I do wrong? I said, you didn't do anything wrong. I said, you just got to make sure you do the same thing every time. They will not go in every time. He said, well, what do you think about when you went to the free throw line? I said, when I went to the free throw line, took a deep breath and relaxed and said to myself, this is a piece of cake. So he said, I'm going to talk about it. He said, I'm going to do that.
All right.
And honestly, let's see here. Okay. So I saw where he went 5 out of 6 the next game.
Yeah, he did.
I said, after you make it, you say, going back down to court, you say, that cake sure did taste good.
There you go. That's a good one. I need to use that one.
There you go. So, but that's something right there that this is a piece of cake right here.
100%.
And I'm going to enjoy tasting it. We're going back up the court on defense.
Yeah.
All right. You're shooting 34.8% from threes. That's good.
Yeah.
Right there. And I think anything like 33 or better is good in my book. And I was a college and high school coach for 37 years. I actually coached at USC Upstate and was there. The year I left, they won the national championship.
Wow.
So I was there in the early days when we had played there. We had no dorms. We had no food service. We went to games in station wagons and just all those things like that, though, that y'all wouldn't believe what we went through back then.
Yeah.
It's a different world. I was in charge when I coached there. After that, I was in charge of distributing meal money when we would go somewhere. And we'd probably stop at McDonald's, and I had to give everybody $10. So it's changed a little since then, hasn't it?
Definitely. Changed just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Field goal percentage, 45-1. You're getting 29 minutes a game. And just talk, last year you were ranked as one of the top bucket getters in the country.
Yeah.
So just tell me your philosophy on getting buckets.
You know, I'm sure as Coach Marty said a little bit, I kind of have an old school feel to me, have a different game that people don't usually see from a guy that's my size. You know, I'm not afraid to back someone down, use my physicality, love the kind of floater stuff, all that going at the rim. As you said, can also shoot the three, though, will stretch the floor. If I'm open, I'll shoot it, have confidence, knock it down. Like to get to the mid-range. Just kind of my whole life I've just kind of been able to find a way to put the ball in the hoop, and I've just rolled with it since then.
The name of the game is put the biscuit in the basket.
Exactly.
That's what you do. And it's kind of funny because I was sitting here and talking with Marty about this time last year. I said, what are your recruiting needs? What do you need for next year? What are you going after? And his number one priority was, I got to get a bucket getter.
Yeah.
And he got you.
Yes, he did.
Number 2 on that list, I got to have a rim protector.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got 2 of them.
He did.
And number 3 was we got to have another point guard. And he got one there that's got like 40-something steals and 73 assists there.
Yes, yes.
So but I compare your game. Did you have anybody growing up that you compared your game to that you used to watch play?
You know, as a kid, you're delusional. So you always like to say that you try and play like all the great players, whatever it is, Dwayne Wade and Donovan Mitchell, who's a new guy in the NBA and all kind of stuff like that. But for me, I just kind of just took what I had that was given to me, which was a strong frame, and kind of just utilized it to my advantage. My dad kind of told me, like, Mason, you're bigger than these kids. There's no point in trying to make it. Exactly.
You play bigger than them, even though you're smaller.
Exactly. So he's like, you play big, you are big, you're strong. There's no point in trying to dilly-dally around with these guys and just use that. And so I kind of just have took that and ran with it, and it's got me to where I am today.
And again, I'm going to compare you, maybe I'm dating myself, to style of NBA Hall of Famer, Charles Barkley.
The round mound of rebound.
The round mound of rebound was always undersized, but he got it done.
He does.
I like Charles Barkley. I like to hear his opinions on stuff.
Yeah.
He's funny.
He is.
But what he says makes sense.
It does.
When you stop and think about it. But that is exactly when I watch you play, the first person that comes to mind is Charles Barkley.
Well, I'll take that every single day of the week, right? It's a Hall of Famer right there.
Well, you have had a great year this year. In my opinion, you are a all Big South Conference, one of the all tournament teams, not tournament teams, but I think that you ought to be a candidate. I would definitely vote for you for being all Big South.
Well, thank you.
This year.
I appreciate that.
With the year you had.
That, sir.
We know free throws are something that you got to work on, but
100%.
Is there anything else you feel like you would like to get better at in your game?
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, I want to shoot the three a little bit more. Like you said, I think when you're a guy that can shoot it at about 35% a night, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to take a couple more and hunt a couple more of those for sure. I think just working on, you know, coming off of ball screens. And obviously this year, you know, pretty much all the conference, whenever I drive the basketball or get a touchdown there, I'm getting 2 guys on me. So making able to make the proper reads when those double teams come, passing out of it, all that stuff like that, seeing the different options off of pick and roll and out of double teams and all that kind of stuff is stuff that I need to continue to improve on. As we've gotten here later in the year, I've started to see the double teams, see where they're coming from, been able to kick it out, find some open guys and teammates, and I think that's the biggest step for me is just continuing to grow that, you know, off the ball screen roll with the big men, getting in that, and then just, you know, when you can score down there efficiently, teams are going to have to double, so dealing with that and continue to grow out of that as well.
And again, like you said too, going back to the free throws, when you get that worked out, then you're going to see your average, in my opinion, is going to go up to 20-something a game.
Exactly. 100%.
Because the way you play, and when you can play inside, people are going to foul you a lot.
You are.
And I think that would really get you to being one of the, even if you're not now, one of the elite players, you know, in the conference.
Yeah, 100%.
Like along those lines there too. All right, end of the game situation. Game's on the line.
Yeah.
Who gets the ball?
Game on the line. Who gets the ball? I'm always going to say myself.
Okay, you got to say it.
I want the ball every time.
You want it every. That's good, and I like that. I've got a big thing used to be hanging in my office when I was coaching. Now I've got it in my man cave at home. It's a picture of Larry Bird in the gym. It said, some people run for this moment, others live for it. The last shot.
Exactly. You have to want the
You
last
gonna,
shot,
yeah.
man. I actually so my mom has a unique job kind of that works in the NBA scene, and I had the opportunity to get a signed jersey from Jimmy Butler.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
one of the greats, right? And he said, he wrote on the back of his jersey, he said, it's okay. Obviously, it's never okay to lose, right? But he said, it's okay to lose by one as long as you were the one that took the last shot.
Yep.
Because that means it rode on you. It was your job, it's your responsibility to take that shot. And I've always took that to heart when he said that and wrote that on the jersey, because it's like, at least that point you knew that it was you and your doing, and you were the one that had the chance to win the game, and it wasn't anyone, not that you don't want anyone else to win the game for you, but it's your responsibility. So I think that was something that stick out to me for sure.
I would always wanted the ball. I'd go steal it from my teammates, but I was the point guard. I wouldn't give it up.
Yeah.
Okay, but I played point guard and combo guard a lot of the time, but I made sure I was the point guard on that final play. I was going to take the shot.
Exactly.
And I had several buzzer beater game-winning shots.
Yeah.
And I remember the one time I missed, I had one a buzzer beater in the very next game. I had the same shot and missed it. It would have won the game. And it looked better when it left my hands than the ones the week before that went in there, though. But I love that moment. That's what it's all about, though. All right, we're going to get some of the fun questions right here.
Okay, let's do it.
So I brought my own audience.
Okay.
This is nobody else will clap for me, so
there you go.
I get my own applause here. So when you make the right answer, people are staring at me now.
Yeah.
All right, what month were you born in?
I was born in September.
September the
13th.
Ooh, 13 was my lucky number.
Okay.
That was always my game number.
Yeah.
13 has always been my lucky number.
It's a great number.
That was my father-in-law's birthday.
Yeah.
Favorite food?
Like type of food or just specific food?
Specific would be fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'll go with steak. Big
Steak.
steak fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you put ketchup on your steak?
No.
Okay. All right. Your favorite color?
Pink.
Pink.
I love the shirt.
I like it.
Love the shirt.
Real men wear pink.
Exactly.
All right. I want to ask you something here too. One thing I used to enjoy when I was coaching, I never bought a uniform out of a catalog. I designed my own uniform.
Okay.
And this was one of my favorite ones right here, was the pinstripe uniform right there.
Yeah.
I still think that would look good where you take the red off of it and put the green on there, green pinstripes on a black jersey. That would look sharp.
I think it would look sharp.
We have had names on the back of our jerseys. Our practice gear had the names on both sides.
Okay.
So when we went somewhere to scrimmage or something like that, if anybody was there scouting or doing anything, a recruiter or anything like that, everywhere we went, you knew. It was on their shooting shirts. We had long warm-up pants that were red, white, and black striped like Indiana wears.
Very cool.
And all. But it was fun. And that's one of the big things I miss now is not getting to design a new uniform every year. All right. Coach Richter's just come to you and telling you he's going to let you design a uniform, next year uniform. Tell me what your uniform will look like.
Oh, man. This is something I haven't think I've thought about before. I would say I like our uniforms right now. I think I would do something a little different than the kind of stripe checker we have going down the side of our
Now, what color would you go with? Would you go with white, white, black, green, or maybe even a gray?
I think I would do gray.
Okay.
I like gray. I think they showed us their little city uniforms or whatever they wore for 1 or 2 games last year. I believe it was. I really like those uniforms. Those are cool uniforms. I think the grays are very cool, kind of a deep dark gray. It's super cool. Our white uniforms are really, really clean. I think they look really good on our home floor. Like I said, I think I would just change the checkered board on the side to maybe something a little bit more, maybe a little bit more simplistic, I think, just to kind of all have a nice smooth looking uniform.
Okay.
Kind of just a clean looking, sharp looking uniform.
If you do gray, you can wear that home or away.
Exactly. And you can wear the gray home or away when you go travel and play at maybe neutral sites. Your gray will be perfect for the neutral sites.
Yep.
In an ideal world, I'd like to have, I think, white, gray, and a black would be what I would do. The green, I'm not a huge fan of the green uniform we have right now. I don't mind the green uniform.
Black makes you look tough. If you come out in that black uniform, all black uniform.
And I think our green also, it's like a little bit maybe different shade green than we usually wear, so
Yeah.
I think maybe that's why it throws it off a little bit. But I think I would go with gray, black, and white.
Okay. Now, are you going to put together? You going to have stay with like you are warm-ups now? You going to go with warm-up pants or anything with that, or what would you do?
Warm-up pants? I love like you said, the tearaway Indiana.
That's what we had.
Looking pants that they wear in warm-ups. I think they're awesome. Love 'em.
What color?
I think you would have to do. I think I would go black and white.
Okay.
Maybe. Black and white with maybe like an accent of green.
Okay.
Around the white. You know what I'm saying? I think those would look pretty clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, that sounds good. I like that.
Yeah.
But that was again. I used to have again. That's when I was coaching high school. I had that, and some of the recruiters coming in, like the first thing they'd say is, "Who does your uniforms?" They wouldn't ask about the player. They said, "We love your uniforms. Who does them?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I design them myself. This is a company who makes them after that, though." But that I look at it with maybe I put sometimes I'd have maybe the hobo lettering like this.
Yeah.
I'd have the Dallas Maverick numbers. I would have Notre Dame pants, and I'd get combinations from a lot of different uniforms and put them together.
That's
and
awesome.
It was fun to put it all on paper, and then when they shipped in, I always with like Christmas time going in the box to see how they came out. Though.
Yeah.
And our players loved them.
That's awesome.
That we had the other teams we played, our rivals were jealous because my philosophy is that I always gave my players and my team the best things money could buy.
100%.
And I said, in return, you better give me the best things money can buy.
Exactly.
And we had a deal there.
Exactly.
But we made the other teams jealous. I said, you're going to get the best stuff that money could buy. And again, when I coached high school, we had stuff better than college teams did.
Yeah. And you know what they say? You look good, you play good, right?
Absolutely. That's my philosophy.
Right? Exactly.
That if you look good and you've got a good self-concept, you're going to play good.
Yep, 100%.
I'm glad somebody agrees with me on that because that was one of my philosophies in coaching there. All right. Have you ever ridden a motorcycle?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, ridden a motorcycle.
Have you ever been skinny dipping?
No. Never been skinny.
Back in the day, I bet it'd be a little cold in Salt Lake City for that.
I think it would be.
I've only had one person from upstate, and that was a girl that played last year, Jenny Levine, and she grew up on a farm there, so she's the only one that ever has. Ever gotten a speeding ticket before?
No, never had a speeding ticket.
Okay. I've got car keys in my pocket to any vehicle you want. What you can take? What you gonna get?
Ooh, I think I would probably just do something like a Audi Q3, something like that. I've never been like a guy that is like I need to get a Lamborghini or one of the super exotic sports cars. I think something that's a clean, nice-looking machine, but it's not too too expensive and gets you from point A to B and is also reliable, will last you a long time. I think it's something that I would go for.
There you go. Last week, Carmani said that he wanted a BMW and was telling me what that. And I said, okay. I said, I've got a BMW 335i hardtop convertible out there right now. And I said, let me tell you what I learned. I said, you cannot get out of the repair shop if you take it in for less than $1,000.
Yeah.
If you get one of those maintenance, he said, how much would oil change cost on one of those? I said, Carmani, I said, it'd run you anywhere from $500 to $1,000 just get your oil changed. I went in to get a new battery at one time, and when all the other things, this computer's out, this filter, and whatever like that, again, $1,000 is the cheapest I've ever got out. It adds up. Yeah. And I mean, at this point right now, I love to drive that car. That thing will fly. I better make sure no policemen are watching. But I've looked down going to Columbia. I cover South Carolina men and women sometimes over the women's basketball and men's football. And I can make it to Columbia in an hour. And I've looked down before, and I felt like I was going 70, and I was just talking, and I looked down, and I was going over 90.
Cruising.
It's 90. Cruising. It runs smooth. 90 smooth at 90 as it would at 65 or 70.
Wow, that's nice.
So, yeah, I enjoy that one, though. Okay, what's the worst pain you ever had?
Ooh, worst pain. Honestly, probably when I was a little kid. I was riding down a driveway on a scooter, and I hit a crack and biffed it, and went chin straight into the concrete.
Oh, no.
Chin split wide open. Was bleeding all over the place, and I had to get stitches in my chin. That was probably the worst thing I can remember.
That's painful.
Yeah.
I've had 9 kidney stones.
Wow.
And that is dying is the easy way out.
I've heard that's what I've heard.
I
those are
crawled, and
horrible.
the first time I had one, I crawled into the door of the hospital.
Wow.
And they had to come get a stretcher and come get me and take me on back there because there's no position you would ever be able to get in to be
That's
comfortable. And it
comfortable.
hurts so bad, it makes you nauseated on top of that.
Wow, that's horrible.
Sick
that
to
sounds
your
horrible.
stomach. And second would be I had torn rotator and torn bicep surgery. So those would be the two things, though. But I would not wish a kidney stone on anybody. Okay, can you sing?
Depends on who you ask.
I mean, we get in the lowdown here. Are you a singer? Can you sing?
I think I can. Me and my brothers back home, we've sung the three of us and one of our neighbors, who's one of our good friends, in church.
Okay.
Four of us.
Yeah.
So I think if you get now by myself, I wouldn't feel super confident. But I think if you surround me with, two other average singers like myself, I think we'll sound pretty good. Like me and my brothers will go sing. We've sang in church before, and so I'd say I can sing.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I can
great.
sing
All
a
right,
little bit.
let's say that y'all are going to have a team activity, and Coach Richter calls you up, and you've got to do karaoke in front of the team. What's going to be your karaoke go-to song?
Ooh, karaoke go-to song. It would probably have to be a song by an artist. His name is Giveon. He's an older, he's a newer guy. Not been around too long. Kind of does R&B music. So I'd probably go with one of his songs because I think I know him the best as an artist.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Can you play an instrument?
No, I used to be able to. I used to play the piano growing up. All growing up, I played the piano. I still have a little bit of skill, can play a couple songs, or if you sit down and you give me a minute, I can figure it out. But I don't play consistently enough to be like a piano player or musician.
Okay, Carmela plays the piano.
He does.
He does.
He's my roommate. I hear him playing all the
do
time.
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear him playing
Yep.
all the time.
All right, give me a true answer on this though. Do you play golf?
I do.
Have you ever
I'm
hit
the
a
best
hole in
golfer
one?
on the team.
Are you really?
Yes.
Have you ever
100%.
hit a hole in one?
Never before.
Carmelo told me when I asked him if he played golf, he said, yeah, he just took it up. And I said, have you ever hit a hole in one? He said, yes. I said, I'm not talking about hitting the ball in the clown's mouth like that. He said, Nick Book and I were playing. And he said, I hit a hole in one.
Who else did he say was playing?
The
Just
two
him
of
and Nick
them.
Buck?
Yep. The two of them. And I said, I bet Nick Book hit one that same day, too.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And Coach Fritz was with me, and he said, how far was the hole, Carmon? He said, 100 feet. I said, 100 feet would be from here to the door. He said, I mean 100 yards. We said, what club did you use? He said,
couldn't even tell you, huh?
he had to think he made up. He said 8 iron.
The 8 iron.
Now you're going to have to be there for this because I do a golf show starting up probably in the next few weeks here.
Okay.
It's got me and another retired coach. It's called Two Old Farts in a Cart.
Okay.
And it's about, have you ever wondered what two old farts in a cart talk about during a round of golf? And what we do is, I've got the camera up there, and when we in between holes, we'll sit there and we'll pick out, some topic, whether it's a sports topic or a concert we went to or whatever, and talk about that. So I have challenged Carmani and Nick to come play with us one time after he told me he had a hole in one.
Carmelo,
yes, I meant Carmelo.
Carmelo.
And so we're going to call it Two Old Farts and Two Young Guns in a Cart.
Well,
and he's accepted the challenge.
I think I can answer the question I think the Two Old Farts will win that match.
you need to come be in that match too with
having
us.
played firsthand with Carmelo and Nick, I'm going to go with the Two Old Farts in that
Where do
match.
they usually shoot?
I think this summer was the first time they really played golf.
That's what they said. And I said, how'd you hit a hole in one?
See, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I went with them every time they played golf.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I don't remember a hole in one. Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
He swears that Nick witnessed it, that Nick was with him, and he hit a hole in one.
Maybe there's
with
one
8
time
iron.
they went. Maybe there's one time they went. But I think I would place my money on the Two Old Farts in that match. That's for sure.
Well, we are going to do it. We are setting it up, and Marty wants all the video. He's going to show that of what that doing. But we're going to set that up either this spring or this summer because we film an episode every week. We filmed 27 episodes last year.
Wow.
But they're going to be guests. You can come be one of our guests sometime if you want to.
I'd more than love to. Love golf. Love playing.
Well, what I got, and I was telling him too, that for Christmas this year, after Christmas, I've been wanting this for a couple of years, but I got the virtual reality goggles.
Oh, okay.
And I got the PGA Plus golf is what I want.
Wow, okay.
So every night before I go to bed, I play anywhere from 36 to 72 holes on that.
Wow.
And I played Pebble Beach. I shot even par on Torrey Pines out in California. I played St. Andrews. I was only 2 over par at St. Andrews on the front 9.
Wow.
And I'm like, why does everybody say this course is so hard? Well, the back 9, I hit in bunkers that were like 10 feet tall, and my ball's sitting there where I had to hit backwards to get out of it. But I did finish my round that day. I shot an 84. At St. Andrews, though. But it's so much fun. I had to learn, though, because the first time I played, it's so reality there that I thought I was walking down the fairway, and I tripped over the recliner and turned to flip. And I hit the Christmas tree once on my backswing, and I hit the coffee table once and about woke my wife up. But she goes to bed, and so my tee time every night, so if you're up at 12 a.m. Every night or not one night, I'm teeing off then. And I move the coffee table out of the way. I clear it off, but I'm getting set to play either 36 or 72 every night before I go to bed.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. It has been so much fun. So now I'm anxious to get 2 old farts in a car to get it warm enough when we can start playing outside.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, golf is it's a great game. I've played ever since I was a young kid. My dad's a big golfer.
Oh, really?
So he got me into it ever since I was a young kid.
Now, how are the courses out in Salt Lake City?
We have some really nice courses out there in Salt Lake. There's a club course up in like Park City area. It's called Glen Wild. Super nice. Played up there a couple times. Oak Ridge is actually a club that my family's a member at. Super nice club. I'll go up there when I'm back home and it's warm all the time. Whether it's just to hit balls, play 9 with my dad, with my brothers. It's a lot of fun. And then there's the Sugar House Country Club, super nice course. There's a ton of great golf in Utah. Then you get down in the St. George area as well. Beautiful down there.
Okay. Now, have you ever hit a hole-in-one?
Never.
I've hit one. And it was a par 3, 153 yards. I hit a 5-iron.
Okay.
And it rolled in, and I was so mad because the people ahead of me didn't put the flag all the way in good. And it originally did not go in because the flag leaned and stopped it, and it fell in.
Oh, there you go.
So,
well, hey, hole-in-one's a hole-in-one.
Hole-in-one, yeah. I'll take it. I will take it.
Exactly.
But for him to have just started playing, we question that. So we're going to find out the truth will be out there.
You can decide for yourself whether you think you hit one when you go play it. When you go,
you need to go back and ask him, when did you hit that hole-in-one you told Coach Cox about? So he claims that he did. All right, who's your favorite actor?
Actor. Favorite actor, I would probably have to go with Will Ferrell. Super funny. Love his movies.
He is.
Kevin Hart's hilarious when he's acting. And Michael B. Jordan, his Creed movies, his boxing movies, I've really enjoyed.
All 3 of those. I like his Creed movies.
Really awesome. Yep. And I've really enjoyed those.
Which is your favorite, funniest Will Ferrell movie? Ooh. I got to go. He's got so many, but I still love Buddy the Elf.
I was gonna say that myself. Buddy the Elf. It's just like it's a classic. It's just like
it is.
It just makes you laugh every time you watch it. He's hilarious in it. It's a great Christmas time movie. It's awesome.
You know, they offered him millions. I mean, like $70 million to do a sequel on that. He wouldn't do it. No. He said it would ruin it. He said, being in the moment on that, he said I couldn't duplicate that again.
And then Adam Sandler movies. Gotta love Adam Sandler movies. Anyone, Happy Gilmore.
Oh God.
The second one wasn't as good as the first one.
Yes, it was. I've seen both of them.
But the first one was hysterical. The Grown Ups movies with Adam Sandler and that gang are hilarious. He has great movies.
Those you can't go wrong with them. All right, we are doing. I've got Hollywood coming to town. We're doing the Mason Bendinger life story. Who's going to play you? Who you want to play you in the life story of Mason?
Wow. I mean, I would have to say, I mean, Michael B. Jordan. He'd be a great one because he's athletic.
Yep.
You understand.
Okay.
I think kind of that scene. And then I think this kid named what's his name? Caleb McLaughlin, I think's his name. Younger actor, been in like the Stranger Thing movies.
Uh-huh.
I think he would do a pretty good job, and I think that's all I can think of right now. If I'm being honest with you, I think those two would do a pretty good job though.
Okay. What is your most embarrassing moment?
Ooh, my most embarrassing moment, athletic wise, or anything.
Anything.
Ooh, man, I gotta think about this one for a second. Let me think. Probably one of my most embarrassing moments would be when I was up on the ski slopes, actually, and I was, you know, 12 years old, had all the confidence in the world up there, thought I was the greatest skier ever, and decided, hadn't done any tricks before, but I said, let me hit this big jump right here and go for just, a 360. I was like, I just gotta turn in the air once or twice, right? It'll go my way. Went for it, absolutely just biffed it.
Oh,
horrible. Skis went in frontwards, man. I was launched out of my ski boots, face planted straight into the sand. There was people who turned around and looked at me from like a couple different angles and were like, what is this kid doing? Why did he just try and do that? That was the worst 360 I've ever seen. And just absolutely hated it. It was bad. But that's got to be up there for one of them for sure.
I remember the first time I went skiing. I mastered Bunny Hill pretty quick, but
Yeah.
they didn't bother to tell you that you've got to ski off the lift. Now that's a challenge. The first
is.
time you go up
That's
to
honestly the hardest part of your first time skiing.
It
getting
is.
off the lift.
To fall off the lift.
Yeah.
You have to ski right off the lift and
Yeah.
go. Well, I used to watch back in the day. There was the show on TV where it was like called The Wide World of Sports. It used to be on ABC, and it would show the thrills of victory with the people celebrating and the agony of defeat with these people, like these Olympic jumpers, with ski jumpers that would fall off the side and things like that. So I'd always watched skiing. I thought it was simple, and so I got up there at the top of the mountain, and I just took off and just started digging as hard as I could. I didn't realize you build up speed
You
as you
do.
go, and you're going to go back and forth and kind of slalom like that.
Exactly.
You don't go straight.
You can't go straight down the hill. If you
Well-
go straight down the hill, you're going to be in for a rude awakening when you get down there.
I was passing all of my friends and I was out of control. And our last thing I remembered was to snowplow. That if you need to stop, they said to snowplow. So when I snowplowed, I was going so fast and I was out of control. My skis crossed. And when they crossed, I went face first in the snow, and
Yeah.
my right ski didn't release, and the toe was stuck in the ground.
Yeah.
And I was buried, and my friends thought I was dead. That I learned real quick. So I finally got to where I learned a little bit, and I thought it was pretty good too. And all the girls that went with us, and I was going to impress the girls.
Yeah.
And I was coming down there, and got to the bottom. There was a modal right at the bottom of the
Oh.
hill right there. And so I was going to be cool coming down there. And I looked up, and I waved at them, and I hit that thing, and my goggles flew off, and things went flying everywhere. So I have been there, done that on that
Exactly.
story. I know exactly where
Exactly.
you're coming from.
Yeah.
On that one right there. All right. Have you ever shot a gun before?
Yes, actually, one of my first time, we actually shot one not that long ago out here. There was a little event over at where the golf team's home course is, I believe.
Yes.
They had the skeet. What do they call the
Skeet
pigeon?
shoot. Yeah, pigeons, clay pigeons.
Yeah, clay pigeons.
Yeah.
We did some clay pigeon shooting. I actually was pretty impressed with myself. I think I hit it 3 out of 4 times.
That's great.
So,
I've actually got my concealed weapons permit. I
Okay.
hope I never have to use it, but if I had to save my family members or a friend and all like that, I would use it if I had to.
Yeah.
But I hope I never have to use it.
100%.
All right. Can you cook?
I can a little bit. I can cook a little
What's
bit.
your go-to meal?
little
What's
bit.
your
I would
best
say-
dish?
I love cooking flank steak back home. Me and my family, we do Sunday dinners. I'm usually in charge of handling the flank steak. So flank steak, you get a little side of asparagus in there, some mashed potatoes, get the job done.
Sounds good. Okay. Have you ever changed a flat tire?
Once, I was a Boy Scout.
Okay.
I was a scout. I'm actually an Eagle Scout.
My brother
So,
was an Eagle Scout.
yeah,
Went to it.
I'm an Eagle Scout. So back when I was in Scouts, I've changed the attire. I definitely need to refresh my memory. That's for sure. Definitely need to refresh my
I've got
memory.
AAA now, so
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
changed many attire.
You know,
But
you got
now
Jiffy Lube and
Yep.
AAA, so you
I
have
just
them
call
handle
them
it.
and get my money's
Exactly.
worth.
You have them
Let them do
handle
it there. Would you ever skydive?
Oh, that's a tough question. I've told myself no, but I think it would be a super cool experience, and I think that if I got the right hype and people around me, I would do it with them.
Wow. All right. What is your biggest fear?
Ooh,
Do you have any phobias? Biggest fear?
biggest fear? I've never been a fan of haunted houses.
Oh, really?
Never. I've been in one my entire life, and it took me until I was literally 20 years old last year in order to get into a haunted house. I just have never been. I don't like getting jump scared.
Yep.
I don't like any of that. It's not so much like the clowns or the whatever it is. It's just like the jump scare.
Yeah.
Hate the jump scare. So it took me until I was 20 years old in order to get into a haunted house.
I don't go to haunted houses. When I was little, my father was in the carnival business, and I grew up on the carnival. And I used to go in the fun houses like that. We used to scare people in
Yeah.
that. But I haven't done any of that. I really have been back there since then, though.
Yeah.
But we used to get the masks and jump out of the places in the fun houses there and do that. My biggest fear is heights. I can't stand glass elevators. I cannot. The only way I'd ever parachute would be if the plane was going down, and it was my only. I'll wait till the plane was not too far from the ground and get before it crashed and jump out then, though.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you'd have to hit me over the head. You'd have to pull the cord for me, and then give me some smelling salts once we hit the ground
Yeah.
to wake me up,
Yeah.
because I don't want to see anything.
Yeah, let's not get it twisted. The skydiving thing I would only do if I was strapped to a trained professional. Trained professional is strapped there with me, and he's pulling the cord. He's taking care of us on the way down. And then I stand there and just kind of take it all in. I think I'd maybe be okay. But if I have to pull the cord, rely on that, I think I'd get a little bit too frantic.
Okay. Yeah, there's no way seeing things like that. I'll fly an airplane. I'm okay with
Yeah.
that, but I'm not going to just be out there dangling in the air there. Have you ever held a snake before?
Yes.
What kind?
I believe it was. Oh, it was a while ago. Probably a snake that they would allow someone who's between the ages of 10 and 14 to old.
Okay. Was it a big one? I held a python one time.
Okay, a python.
And it was like muscles.
I think
you were
mine.
squeezing.
I think mine was also a python. Now that you mentioned that, but it was not too big.
Okay.
It was a decent size though.
Okay. What's something that most people would not know about you? You threw one thing out there was you were an Eagle Scout, but what's something else that somebody would not know about you?
That was probably my best one. The Eagle Scout. People would not expect me.
I
to
would.
Be an
All
Eagle
right,
Scout.
I'll give you credit for that.
That
one
one's pretty good. I don't think people would expect me to be an Eagle Scout. I just think people don't expect athletes in general to probably be an Eagle
Right.
Scout.
Yep.
So I think that one would definitely throw people for a loop. I don't think people would look at me and say I was a golfer either. How we talked about golf, I don't think people would say I was
Yep.
a golfer. And the other thing I would say is, and even like skiing. I think skiing. Those
Yeah.
are all ones that I don't think people would like be like, oh, he skis, or oh, he
Yeah.
plays golf, or oh, and Eagle Scout especially. I think
Those
would
are.
throw people off.
You get a.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You get 3 good hand claps on that, though. Those are 3 really good answers for there. Let's see. What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie. My favorite movie, I think, is The Blind Side.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. My favorite movie is Hoosiers.
Great movie.
That is a movie that when I was coaching and we'd always go on the chartered buses to games away from that, I always had to take Hoosiers
Yeah,
with
or
me.
there was a basketball movie. I can't remember the name of it now. There was a guy in it, character, Bobby Joe Hill. His name is Bobby Joe
Yeah.
Hill.
Yeah.
Western Texas. That was the
Yeah,
university
that was
they played
good.
for.
Yeah, that was a
I
great
always
movie.
really
That
loved
was.
that
I know
movie.
exactly. I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, I can't think of the
But
name.
I
either.
love that movie
Love
too.
that movie. Those would probably be the 2 that I would go with.
I remember my players used to ask me, say, Coach, why don't you put the picket fence in? I said, you bring me Jimmy and I will. I said, I don't have any Jimmys on my
As
team.
soon as I get a Jimmy,
When I
bring
get
it in
Jimmy,
there.
I'll put the picket fence in. I promise you with that, though. Let me see here. Get a few more with you here.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Have you ever roller skated?
Yes.
Were you
I
good?
actually, yeah, I'm a pretty decent.
Pretty good roller
Yeah,
skater?
pretty decent roller
Okay.
skater. I'd actually go. At one point when I was back home before I came out here, while I was in kind of junior college and back in high school, I would go once every 2 weeks. Maybe once a week almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever ice skated?
Yes, I skated as well.
I used to be good at that, but now that puts so much pressure on my ankles
Yeah.
that I get cramps. I can't even go around one time around the ring without getting cramps
Yeah.
in your feet with that, though. So I've had to hang the ice skating up there. I still would love to, on my bucket list, to go back again. I would love to snow ski at least one more time.
Yeah.
At least
fair
try
enough.
it.
Yeah,
I may break my neck, but I would love to try it
I
one
think
more
you'd
time.
enjoy it.
So I used to, but see, the hard part was I loved it when I was in high school and early years in college. But when I got into coaching, prime time, I was a college and high school coach for 37 years.
Okay.
That's when you'd go ski.
Exactly.
I was the
It's right when you
busiest
go
time of the
skiing.
year.
It's so hard.
You couldn't
So
go.
hard.
So, all right. Let's see what we got. Have you ever caught a fish?
Yes.
Can you bait your own hook?
Yeah.
Okay.
I baited my own hook before. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been to the Empire State Building?
Yes.
Okay. I got tricked into going there with Fear of Heights when I was a little boy. My mom and daddy tricked me into thinking that was a candy store and then took me up there, and I was kicking and screaming and hollering. All right, there. Let me see. I got a few. Have you ever swam in the Pacific Ocean?
The Pacific Ocean. That's
California.
That's California.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. I've swum in I've swum. I actually lived in California
Did
for
you?
a period of time.
What
Yeah.
part?
I was in Northern California, Sacramento area.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
My daughter used to live in Dana Point and those places, San Diego.
San Diego.
Out there, so she
Very
was out
beautiful.
there. So I went out to see her, and I swam in the Pacific Ocean one
Yes.
time. Have you ever swam in the Atlantic Ocean?
The Atlantic Ocean.
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach. Yes.
Okay.
I
All
believe
right,
so.
that would be there. Have you ever been water skiing?
Not water skiing, but I have done like they do call it now surfing, where you surf behind the boat, called boat
Yeah,
surfing. I've
okay.
done that before. I've been actual surfing out in the ocean before, but I never water skiing. Can't say I've been water skiing before.
Okay. All right. Have you ever ridden a horse?
Yes.
Okay.
Ridden a horse.
All right. Have you ever ridden in a limousine?
Yeah. Ridden in a limousine.
All right. Have you ever had stitches?
Yes.
I think everybody that's played has had to have stitches
I would hope so.
before right there. What was your worst date ever?
My worst date ever. Oh. Probably. I feel like all my dates have been pretty good, but I feel like back when I was in high school, me and my buddy probably went on a group date of some sort or a double date of some sort, and we just probably didn't pick the best date. Went to a bad place for dinner.
God.
Went to a bad place for dinner. It was also a little different because we hadn't really met, or I think it was I hadn't met the girl he had set me up with, so it was kind of always a little awkward there. Then the dinner, the food wasn't great, and so that kind of just makes it even more not great. And then it just kind of threw a whole bump in the road.
The best answer I ever got on this one was Macy White off the girls' team.
Yeah. Okay.
She told me she went on a date to what's it, Dollywood, and got sick on a roller coaster and threw up on her date.
Oh. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's very bad.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
bad.
think anybody's gonna ever top that
I
one.
don't know if someone will top that one.
Oh me, what's your favorite midnight snack?
Ooh, midnight snack. I would probably have to go with probably just fruit snacks.
Okay.
I'll just get up, grab a quick pack of fruit snacks, and then grab some sort of glass of water. Because if you wake up, then if you're not already asleep, you're probably gonna be thirsty. And if you are asleep, you're definitely gonna wake up thirsty. So at least a glass of water, and probably just some fruit snacks.
Well, I've always got to get me a snack before my midnight tee off.
Yeah.
On my golf game, I had to have a little snack with that too. All right, what's some on your bucket list?
Bucket list. I would say I want to go to Japan. Never been to Japan. I think I'm actually jealous. My brother's going in May. Super jealous. He gets to go in May. He's going with a couple of my cousins. But I think Japan has a super neat and cool culture out there, and I think it'd be a really cool place to see and visit.
Okay. All right. If you could eat lunch one day with anybody, past or present, who would you eat lunch with, and what would you talk about?
Who would I eat lunch with?
Anybody, past or present.
Past or present? I think I would have to go with. I mean, who wouldn't want to have lunch with someone, especially a basketball guy with like a Michael Jordan, greatest of all time, by the way, greatest of all time.
I agree.
Greatest of all time.
The other guy gets compared to him as the biggest jerk I've ever interviewed.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I've interviewed him many a time, and he is a jerk.
Wow.
And LeBron James.
I figured, but I think Michael Jordan would be a super cool person to sit down and have lunch with. I think. Then you go back. I mean, I think having a conversation with someone who believes in God, like someone like Jesus Christ, would
Yes.
be a very interesting and cool conversation and unique conversation to
Yes.
have sitting at that table as well.
Well, I take it you are strong in your faith.
Yeah.
I am too. I am a strong Christian believer, and that has been the thing. When I got into coaching, that I was trying to decide what to do. Either was going to be a minister of youth or a coach, and I got encouragement to try to be a Christian coach where you could, try to help young people and do things like that. And I made a promise. I played Let's Make a Deal with God. I said, if you'll ever help me to get a coaching job, will never turn down an opportunity to speak on your behalf.
100%.
And the people I have met have been unbelievable experiences. I've interviewed about everybody in the NBA. I've interviewed all the top NFL stars doing that. And Dwight Howard was my best friend from the NBA.
Okay, very cool.
He called me Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
And we
okay.
used to have fun, because he used to give me, every time he would play in Charlotte when I'd see him, and then once he played for Charlotte, I wore pink.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil, real men wear pink, everything. I said, they sure do. I had a pink sweater. I'd always wear it every time I was going to see Dwight play.
That's awesome.
But I have been so blessed in my life that God has blessed me. I could not have accomplished. I was all-time winningest coach where I coached, and just records and stuff like that I could have never done without his help, and
100%.
just been totally blessed. Anything I've ever been or done is because of him.
100%.
And I got 2 questions left for
Yes,
you.
sir.
The next to last question is, if you got one question in your life that you never can ever seem to find the answer, what would if you could have that question answered, what would it be?
I mean, that's a tough one. I think I heard you ask Marty this one as I was sitting over there too.
Yep.
I think.
But any question you would want answered that you don't have the answer for.
I think the question would have to be, how do you be able to keep the utmost self-confidence in yourself and confidence in what you do on a daily basis? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
How do you be able to continue to not let the doubt, self-doubt creep in, and be able to keep and exude a confidence about yourself that you're a good person, you're trying to do the right things, and you've put in the work and have the right faith in order to keep that self-confidence on a daily basis.
Good answer.
Thank you.
Right there, though. Mine, being a little bit older than you, I'm 67 years old, and my parents both died when they were in their 60s, late 60s, but around the age I am. My father died of a heart attack. My mother died of cancer. And I guess the biggest question I would want answered would be, in my mind, is what's heaven going to be like?
Or that, yeah, that's also a great question. I think, right, no one really knows,
Yep.
right? That as long as you're down here on this earth, you study in your faith, and you get some pictures of what it could be
Yep.
like, and you can just imagine. But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to just your faith, what you believe it's going to be like,
Right.
And how you think, when you get up there, he's going to be all loving. He's an all loving guy. And I think as long as you believe that and have faith in that, you're going to be all right.
And the second part of that is I can never comprehend what eternity is going to be like. That's two that just blow my mind.
It is
right there, though. But yep, those are two big questions that I have with that. And my last question for you today.
Okay.
Before this one is, do we have fun? Rule number one.
Of course.
Okay. We always got to have fun. I'm not one. I don't look to dig up dirt on people or anything. I want the fun stuff.
Exactly.
The things that we've talked about and laughed about. But my question is, there's a lot of people in here today, and when I was doing the applause, they all looked over at you. And I'm sure they didn't know who you were. I'm sure they didn't know who I was. But what would be the most important thing you would want these people looking at us to know about you?
I would say the most important thing I would want people to know about me is that I'm just a kind person. I think I'm someone that wants to try and exude that they're a good person, a good kid, a good young man that just is trying to spread a light into the world and help people realize that light is within themselves as well. So I think if I can exude to myself that I speak that, then that'll speak volumes. And I think whether that be opening the door for someone, telling them they have a nice day, just something to get them going, to know that someone cares about them, just to show that I have, that type of energy and give off that type of spark is something I'd like to do.
That's a great answer. That sure is, though. I think we've run out of questions for you today, but good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see that free throw percentage come up and the point per game go up to over 20 a game. But I do think you're one of that you should be, in my opinion. And again, I don't know anything. It's like I only coached for 37 years and stuff there, though. I think that you're one of the elite players in this league, and hopefully the other people that vote on that will see that too.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Best of luck.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.